Hello, so we're live. Today we have Sriparna Ghosh with us, and she was a 2017 Venkat Panchapakesan scholar. We're super happy to have you, Sriparna. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Arya. Happy to be here.
All right, so we'll quickly get on with our chat. So, my first question, tell us something about you. Like, what are you doing currently? What are your interests?
Okay, so I am Sriparna Ghosh. I am a final year student in Bangalore. I am studying computer science at the Anand Sagar College of Engineering,
Mm-hmm.
and I am also working as a research intern at IISc Bangalore right
Okay,
now.
that's
That's what
great.
I'll be passing out in a month or so.
Okay, so how does it feel? Like, college is coming to an end, right? So,
I'm kind of quite happy about it.
oh, why?
I'm going to work now
Okay.
and college.
Be all independent, right?
Yes, completely. I've been independent. I'm from Kolkata, so I've been living here alone for the 4 years.
Oh.
Okay. So you're excited to, pass out of college and do some exciting work. Great. So, how did you get to know about the scholarship?
Actually, it was quite by chance because I think my placement department they shared the link in over a mail, and I
Mhm.
think a lot of people really overlooked the mail, and I happened to look at it and paid some attention and applied. So it was shared with all of my college students that year, and I barely know anyone else who had applied. I don't know if some people would have applied, but a lot of people did overlook the mail.
Hmm. Okay.
I was
So
actually just curious on it's just off topic, but what topic of research are you doing in IISc? Is it related to something that you're learning?
Yes, I am working in a CPDM, which is a Center for Product Management and Design.
Okay.
Uh, and inside that, there's a lab called Ideas Lab. So they basically work with design, and I am working on their software portion. So there's a open source software where the research is happening, and I'm doing it under a PhD student there. So I'm basically working on the software portion using Java and an open source software and doing some contributions and some research, studying thesis, papers, and all that.
So your college has a tie-up with IISc, is it?
No, I applied it online through
Always?
Internshala.
Okay. Thank you.
okay, that's great to know. All right. So, like when you first saw the email from your placement department, right? What about the scholarship really piqued your interest and like sort of compelled you to, have a go at it?
Okay, so I am basically I was looking at a lot of things to do. So I was applying to like all these events that happens everywhere, and I did not really have any idea about the scholarship when I applied. I even did not know that it included a trip to the US and the headquarter office. And when I received the scholarship, Deepak from Google, he called me and he told me you have to come down here. So that is the first time I got to know that it was part of the scholarship. So I did not read all of the details even when I was applying. So I just knew that there's some scholarship amount and it'll help me in my career and maybe pay off my student loans. And I just applied it like that.
Mm-hmm.
One thing about it was, have you come across some problems and how you have continued your studies in computer science, and what have you contributed to the computer science field as yet? So these things I wanted to answer those questions, so I just applied in that sense.
Okay, that is quite interesting because most people I know sort of, apply to get go on the Silicon Valley trip or,
I
get the
did not
scholarship
have any
done.
idea it was anything about like that. And when Deepak called me and told me about it, I was like,
That is a wow moment, right?
yeah,
That is probably a cherry on top. Like you
yes,
had fun applying and finally you got a trip as well. So
yes.
okay, so what was the application process like? Like, was it just an application? Did you have an interview? Was there any online meetup or offline meetup for that matter?
So the application process is completely as stated in their official website. So it is very simple. There's no interviews involved. So the first step is to register yourself on the online. There's a complete online application form in the website link itself. So you
Mhm.
have to fill two essays there. So you have to write two essays under 250 to 300 words, and you have to get two letter of recommendations,
Mhm.
and you have to submit a video of yourself stating why you should be given the scholarship. So that was the part of the interview. I think 1 minute of video you have to record yourself and post it. and 2 essays and 2 LORs was basically, and your resume.
Okay. So like approximately when did you know about the scholarship? Like there's a deadline, and how many days prior to the deadline did you know about it? And how many days did you sort of take to put in a good application?
Okay, so that is also like a really funny, I think, because when I got the mail, I thought I would apply and I would just archive everything, and I was interested in, and then I forgot about it and I did not apply. And then I got a mail that the date has been extended for 1 week.
Okay.
And in that 1 week, I just thought, okay, it's extended, let me just apply. So in that week, I suddenly thought and I wrote the essays by myself,
Mhm.
submitted and spoke to 2 of the teachers in my college and got the LORs and submitted in just 2 days, I think, 2 to 3 days.
That was pretty quick.
Yeah. So how did you go about the application process?
Okay, so I started with writing the essays.
Okay.
I wrote the essays stating everything I wanted, and it was a little difficult to get it within the word limit because the word and the question is quite elaborate, and you have to really stick to the word limit of 250 words, which is quite less
Hmm.
for an essay. So that was a challenging part, that you have to get it restricted to that part only and mention only the important things that you would want to highlight in your application in the essays, and very crisp and short answer is the essay. And LOR could be more elaborate, so my teachers gave me good LORs because I am involved in a lot of activities in college and have been doing some stuff. So LORs, I got it from both of my teachers, and they were like really helpful about it. And I had to just get it printed on the college letterhead and get the signature stamp and scan it and send.
Okay.
So, and the LOR, the teachers itself have to send it. So I did not send the LORs. So I just have to mention the details of the recommenders of my application in my application, and the teachers will themselves get an email and they will send the email LOR to the organization directly.
Was it the first time that were you are attempting something like this, or
Yes, it was some like really first.
first time?
So, I mean, how did you really go about writing the essays? I mean, I've heard a lot of students say that it's a very, very difficult process of figuring out what to write and then narrowing it down to, fit the narrative properly and fit the word limit. So, what was your approach really?
So when I read the questions, it was very, it did sound very familiar to me. So it wasn't difficult to put the content out there for me, because one question was what difficulties. This year, I think the questions are a little different for us. The 2 questions was, one was what difficulty did you face in studying. Uh, Hello, Arya, is she available?
Yeah, that's okay. You can carry on. No problem.
Yeah, I'm here.
So the first question was, what difficulty did you face in your life that, uh, and you overcame that to continue your studies in computer science?
Yeah.
And second was, what contributions did you make to the CS field? So I have been working in my college, and we have this socio-tech innovation lab, which I lead in my college, wherein we contact a lot of NGOs and we visit the organizations and some non-profit organizations, and talk to them, find out some problem statement, assign teams, and work on those problem statement. So we kind of give a technical solution to some social problems, and we do that hunting by ourselves, visiting a lot of blind schools, and we have a lot of 2-3 MOUs by now as well. We have one MOU with IIM and SRCell, where we work with a lot of organizations there. So that is what I have been doing from like past 1 year, more than a year now. So that
Okay.
time it was a little young, so 6 months into that process. And I think that I did mention, so that was my contribution that I've been doing. So that fit very well to the context of the question. And the other one was problems that you have faced. And I think most of the students in India would have faced some or the other problem in continuing their studies, especially being a girl. You
Yes.
will face some resistance. I had my story where I had to face a lot of resistance from my family itself to continuing studies. So I just wrote about that. So I think it fell into very context, like I was very clear what I wanted to write and the questions sounded very familiar to me. So I did not have to think or prepare well ahead and what will I write or something like that.
Okay, that definitely sounds like you're a very sorted person. Like you know what you want, and you know what you're interested in, and you sort of know what to perfectly write.
This was not always, not I'm not always sorted, like very indecisive. But then in some places where this scholarship, the idea of the scholarship, the goals fit well to me, I think that is what was important also.
Yes, absolutely. So there was another question which read, "How do you plan to use computer science to make the world a more sustainable place?"
Right.
So, how did you go about answering that?
So in this question only, I had mentioned about my Sociotech Innovation Lab,
Okay.
where I have been working with a lot of organizations personally, and I've been mentoring teams. And even from last year, this year, it has grown beyond that and what it was last year. And we
Hmm.
have more tie-ups with organizations and a lot more teams working and completing the projects with social organizations. So that is where I'm interested in impactful use of computer science in the social sector. And in India, we have like so many problems out there. If you just visit some 5 organizations around you, you will find 10 problems there. It's a lot to do.
Absolutely. That is quite on point. And then there's another question which says, if you receive the scholarship, how will you use it to advance your passion and goals of the scholarship?
Right.
Yeah. So,
After getting the scholarship, I have been using the money to train myself on online courses, taking online courses and upskilling myself. And
mhm.
also, I've been conducting some of the workshops and events in my college for the juniors to teach them about the stuff that I learned through online courses. And I also have been leading this lab and really working hard at it, because sometimes it's quite challenging to get those uh, problem statements in the teams and motivated enough students to work on them.
Mhm.
So that is what I've been doing, and I wish to do that in my future as well, to create some. I want to take this lab ahead and make it more vast in its approach and solve some very good problems. And I think it has the potential, and the young engineers need to solve these problems out there instead of working only and worrying only about their resumes. And we need to
Absolutely.
start doing something. So that's how I have been doing, and still I'm doing even after the scholarship. It has given me a edge right now, a lot of experience and exposure, which has helped me, of course.
Yeah. So, this is how you utilized your scholarship grant?
Yes.
Okay. So, is there any procedure to avail the $225 grant that comes with the scholarship? So, this is specifically provided to make an advancement in your local community
Right.
surrounding in some area surrounding computer science, right?
Right.
So, do you have to submit a proposal, or what is the procedure for it like?
Yes, so after the retreat of the scholarship where we visited Silicon Valley and came back, so after
Mhm.
that itself, Deepak, our coordinator for the program, he contacted us that you can submit your proposals for the extended scholarship of $225. So he explained us how it could be, what are all the possible things, and accordingly we submitted proposals, and I did get that grant.
Okay.
So
Which you used to develop your lab, is it?
yes.
Okay.
And I'm also working on a smart mirror hardware project, so where I in there are a little bit of costs in buying the materials and the different elements of the of the project, so I've been using that money in that as well.
Okay, that's great to know. So, what was your experience of visiting the valley like?
So it was first time outside the country for me,
Okay.
and it was a fabulous experience. I think still we are kind of mesmerized by all the experience that we had, and we would like all remember it throughout. And we clicked a lot of pictures, so it'll always be in our memories. And it is like a amazing experience. That outlook, that kind of exposure that we get by talking to people, and because from here, being a college student. It is always a very far ahead dream that how this company works, and Google, we are all are like so astonished by the idea of Google and its office and how the people work there and how would be the humans there. They might not be like normal human beings like us. And once you go there, talk to them, and they're completely normal and they're just like you and me. And it's quite possible, and you hear their stories, what they have been doing, how the company has grown from its very start to now, and how they are handling such problems that they're tackling already. And it's amazing to know those things and being a part of that environment, of that energy, and learn so much. It gives you a kind of outlook and that inspiring uh, that inspiring shine bright light in yourself that you can also do something great in your life. And it is definitely very, very inspiring and very much eye-opening to see such great ideas and meet such great people working with the top-notch company and making such amazing impacts.
So how long was the program, and how big was the group?
So we were 6 of us from for the scholarship from India, and it is only basically for the Indian students only. So we were 6 of us from all over India, and we traveled separately mostly, and we reached there on 29th, and we left from there on I think 5th around. So it was supposed to be a 1 week kind of a trip, where the event was for 3 days. And 1 day extra was Halloween, so we stayed over for the Halloween there, and we saw the Halloween. Yes, and another day was for the Stanford visit, so we visited the Stanford University campus.
Okay.
So 2 days there, and 3 days was the main event where we were like 3 days was jam-packed scheduled for the office visits and meeting with different people. So 3 days were the main retreat events, and 2 days extra here and there. So
did you also get to share what you are doing or what your ideas are in the lab and all this with the people at Google? Or
yes. A lot of people were actually asking us that, tell us about yourself. So what have you been doing, or what do you think give you an edge in the application and you got the scholarship? So one thing in common with most of the people were they were trying to do something impactful with the computer science in the computer science field. So either be it on the social front or in community level where you're contributing to the community of suppose women tech makers and community services like that. So that was something common among most of the scholars there that I noticed probably. And it's completely my personal opinion. And that is how it went. So we did share these things with them as well.
and how good was the networking? I mean, are you still in touch, or do you have people in and around Google whom you use as mentors, or are you in communication with the mails?
Okay, so the main one thing is Deepak was there with us. He's from Google and he was our program manager. So we are very much in touch with him. And whenever we have other events of Google in Bangalore or something, we visit and we have a chat. And he's very warm and very amazing personality. And apart from that, the leaders that we met there from different things, and they also keep in touch, so we can mail them. So everyone we met, they gave us their mail IDs. And one person, he was very kind, and he told that he works on the recommendation system of YouTube. He told that if you find some wrong recommendation, it is my fault, so you can send me a mail over this mail ID. And he gave, so everyone shared their mail addresses with us, and we can contact them. I have connected with a lot of them over LinkedIn, and I've met a few of them in India when there was Google Developer Days. A few of them had visited India for that. So I met them, they recognized, and they spoke with us. So yeah.
Warm people and wonderful contacts, right? It's almost like you're alumni of a Google.
Sorry?
Warm people and wonderful contacts, right? So you're almost like you're an alumni of Google. You can always get in touch.
Yes, right now we do know a lot of people at Google, fortunately.
That's what. You're part of the family already. Scholarship that did you. And I also wanted to tell you this, like there's a lot of passion, the drive that you see, and wonderful initiative that you are taking towards all your projects and research field. Just because of your passion to the field of computer science, which is really commendable.
Thank you so much.
Good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
So Sriparna, Do you remember or recall any fun experiences you had during the program? Like any specific anecdotes or stories you'd like to share?
Okay, so there was like two fun things that I really enjoyed myself. One was cycling in the Google campus. So they have these Google cycles all around the campus, which they use commonly to.
Are they self-driven?
Sorry?
You have to cycle it. Are they self-cycling? No, right?
No, no, no. You have to cycle it, and they were like really fancy Google cycles, and like Google printed over it white cycles, and we did ride it around the campus, and it was really fun. And the Android park at Android in the Mountain View office, that was like quite an experience. And we went to the merchandise store where we could buy some stuff. And one amazing experience was the video that we shot at YouTube studio. So at the YouTube headquarters in San Bruno, they have this studio downstairs, and there were two of the people from the studio who taught us about filmmaking and how the videos are made. And even we shot a video there, a small video, which was a dance. So three of us danced, and three of them were shooting the video. So we danced on that lungi dance song, and choreographed it. And even the person who was there teaching us, he knew about the movie, and it was like quite astonishing. He was like, "Oh, I know this movie. It's Shah Rukh Khan. It's Chennai Express." So we knew all about it, and we danced on that. It was very fun. Like that was the last of our scheduled events of the third day. So
Okay.
we really had a lot of fun shooting that video and dancing, and we have some amazing pictures of that event as well. So that was
That
an amazing thing.
definitely sounds like you had a lot of fun and learning.
Yes.
So, I mean, if you could like really sum up all of this into 5 reasons why someone should apply to the scholarship, can you
Okay.
do that?
Yes, sure. So, one reason is I will start with one reason that you should not apply for this reason is because of the retreat itself. So, don't just apply because there's this retreat. It is a part of the program to give you that exposure, to give you that experience, and just read the documentation what is there, and if you fit in then only apply. So don't just try to mm, make things up. So they will understand if there's some false information on the document. So that is one thing you shouldn't do. And you should definitely apply if you are falling in that category where you know you can answer these questions, and you should enjoy the process. So if you want to learn more about yourself, so while you write those essays you will learn more about yourself. So that should be a reason that you're applying to the scholarship. Another thing is the scholarship grant that you get. You have to make good use of it. So you have to plan some things, and you will just get to know more about yourself and your passion and what you want to do. Definitely. So that should be a reason you should apply to this. And another reason could be networking with so many people. So I was, I think, the only one from a non-branded college among the scholars. So it was quite an experience for me to know about the different colleges in India, like among all the scholars, what they are doing, what the other colleges are doing, and what they have been doing right. And heard some of the amazing things that they are also doing in their life, and what initiatives they have been taking. So that networking should be a part of the reasons that you want to take up the scholarship. And yeah, that's about it, I think.
Okay, great. So you've summarized it in 3 good reasons. Fine enough, well enough. So it was wonderful talking to you, Sriparna. I hope it's been the same for you.
Yes, it was
Um,
good talking to you guys.
Sriparna, just a request from our side. So if you come across any interesting opportunities for scholarship from the Google team or
Okay.
the network, we have a Reddit board, the Rethink.
Okay.
Maybe I can share you the link. If you
Okay.
can post it, it's like a notice board so that students all over can actually they come and visit and just look. At least they can check out. I mean,
Okay.
there might be few opportunities which maybe you would only know, and that might be really interesting for the student community. So that will
Surely.
be yeah.
and adding to that, it would be great if you could also share your application that actually got you the scholarship. Only if you're comfortable with it, because we have a lot of students who are asking, who are still clueless as to how they should present their answers,
Mhm.
right? So taking a look at a winning application would really help them frame their answers better. So if you're comfortable with sharing your application, can you, like, would you mind doing it?
Actually, I don't have the backup because I did apply from a different computer that time, and I have that computer got corrupted, and I don't have the backup of the essays. And because I told you I just did it in 2 3 days, and I did not know about how big it is or how good it is, and I just applied it very casually at that time, and
Okay.
I did not have the backup. And another thing I would like to tell the students is it is not to go it's not good to have a reference of an essay. So
Mm-hmm.
if you want to write, like it is applicable for if you're applying for a master's, and you should not read others' SOP. So what happens is you think on those lines and you think only those things will help me. So it shouldn't be that. So you should be creative and telling about yourself. So reading another essay would streamline your mind in that direction that maybe I should do exactly that to win it. So
Mm-hmm.
it can be that.
Okay.
I don't have the application.
All right, that's fine. But anyway, it was great talking to you. I'm sure it's going to be a very useful conversation for all of us.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Yes, so it was great talking to you, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be super useful to all those students who are going to apply this time. Thank you so much for taking our time, Sriparna. I really, really
Thank you
appreciate
so
it.
much.
Thank you for having me. I had a good time with you guys chatting on this.
Yes, and even on as a personal note, like adding to what Sandeep mentioned, it's really quite commendable that you're doing all this at a very young age, especially while you're in college. So the kind of passion and exuberance you have is quite evident. So
Thank you so much.
thank you for doing what you do. Okay.
That's I like my duty to do it. That's something extra.
All right. So I'm just going off live. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Yeah. Thank you so much.